Danny, what are your final reflections on the 1-1 draw against Gillingham in midweek?
I suppose it's an overriding feeling of disappointment, but not at the same level of disappointment as when we left Tranmere on Saturday afternoon. Tranmere, we were well and truly beaten. Gillingham, we just felt if we had a slightly better first half, we would have won the game. But all ifs and buts. Ultimately, we were 1-0 down against a very good team and come back to get a point. Was it what we set out to do? Of course not. But, that playoff dream is still alive, although quite faint. And it's still about, regardless of playoffs or not, us finishing the season with some positivity. And I think for large parts of the game the other night, we showed that.
A number of teams have come to the SMH this season and played a low block. How difficult is it to break teams down when they do that?
Very difficult, but that's why we've got the players we've got in certain areas to unlock those defences, And when you're going for it and you're 1-0 down, you are going to be open and vulnerable on the counter-attack. I think we got away with one where centre forward went through, another day goes down, and Ash Palmer might have been in trouble, but that's what you get when you're trying to chase a game. So in a way, it's our own fault for going a goal down. So we have to make sure tomorrow against a very good Fleetwood team we start well. First goal's vital, I believe, to how any game pans out.
What do you have to do when a team comes and plays so deep then and defends with 10 men behind the ball? How do you break them down?
It's a balance. There's a real big balance between putting the ball in the box and finding that extra pass. I think more times than not we make the right call with that, or the players, make the right call with that. Sometimes we probably do an extra pass too much, and other times we don't do enough. And it's hard because out there players have to make split decisions. So obviously as the game goes on, there is a growing feeling the ball comes in the box with the quality we've got of our crosses. Sometimes that's the right choice. Other times people would tend to shoot 20-30 yards when a little slip out wide for a ball across the 6 yard for someone like Will Grigg to tap in. That's the better option. So the answer to your question is that the players hopefully make the right decision at the right time about how to unlock those low blocks. You hear the gaffer shout patience a lot, and that's something that he preaches a lot in training and pre-match and at half-time. Not to look pretty, but to try and draw out a Gillingham player or find the right pass to the wide man so the cross becomes from a better angle. So as I say, I'll reiterate what the gaffer says a lot, and that's patience on the ball.
Is it frustrating that the amount of teams who come here and get everyone behind the ball, or are you just used to it now?
I think if you watch any game, I think it's a big tactic used by teams in the Premier League, in Europe. And he was a king of it, wasn't he, Jose Mourinho, with Inter Milan back in the day. If it wins you games, it wins you games. The gaffer's got a philosophy he's always stuck with, and it's been pretty successful, of high press in your face, patience, like I've just said, when you've got the ball. Other teams have got different philosophies, and there's certainly no right or wrong way to play football. So, we never. I see a lot of people sometimes interviewed after they play against a team with low block, and they're almost sort of really demeaning of the other team and sort of, that's not how football should be played. I totally look down upon that view. I think whenever you want to set your team up, you set it up that way, and if the other team doesn't do enough to beat you, then it's on them, not your style of play.
We touched upon this in midweek. Does more need to be done from the officials in trying to keep the game flowing? We saw again another example in midweek of the goalkeeper going down and all the Gillingham players running over to the side for a chat.
Yeah,
we see that more and more now, don't we? Every week, pretty much.
Yeah, we do, and it's mad, William, because if you think back to our first game last season, when it was at 13 minutes added on against Dorking, 14 minutes added on, so they tried to deal with it that way. And it just become a bit farcical. My way still is for a referee after once or twice of they feel that a team's taking the mick a little bit. You just got to book someone. You've got to book someone to shake up. I think that's the best way to get a reaction from the team. A lot of referees leave it to the 93rd minute to book a goalie, and by then the goalie thinks, well, I'll take a booking. In terms of the going down rule, I can't blame clubs for using it, but there has to be something changed on that because it frustrates everyone. You felt, from our bench and the 8,000 or whatever was supporters in the ground, it brings an anger and a frustration because you know what's going on, it's so obvious, and the referee can't do anything else because that's the rules he's got to abide to. So hopefully that rule changes over the summer. How it changes, I haven't got the answer for that.
How do you rate your chances then of being able to get in the top 7?
I think it's It's more of a no than a yes, isn't it? If you're looking at the mathematical sort of permutations of it, you go, well, we've got to keep winning and hope teams above don't win. You know, they've got to play each other, a lot of them, but we've got to play Wimbledon and Bradford, so they're two very tough games. So it's not trying to sort of keep everyone's optimism low. So if we do it, oh, we're all heroes. It's actually being quite realistic and going, it's quite tough. You know, when we were loads of points clear last year, it was more of a yes than no. We were going to win the league, and the way we are in the league, there's more clubs between us than seventh than we would have liked. But as you saw last night, Crewe losing at home to Cheltenham, that's probably put of a bit of a sort of stop in their plans to reach the top 7. So we've got to capitalise on that tomorrow. But regardless of the league table, we're at that stage of the season which I preached about a while ago of bringing some positivity to the home games. We've done that more times than not. We had that horrible run over Christmas, that really poor run recently, followed by a great run. Real sort of bad day at Tranmere, and let's now be undefeated to the end of the season. That's the aim.
Fleetwood tomorrow then. They've got quite a good away record, although they've sort of have a mixed bag of results in recent weeks. How have you analysed them, and you know what you make of them? Good
players, good team. Obviously had a bit of turmoil with the last manager. They changed him probably earlier in the season they would have liked, or anything would have liked with the new manager. And Pete's come in and done an okay job. You know, they've scored a load, they've conceded a load, but in recent weeks. But they're a good team. And they probably won't get in the playoffs, I wouldn't have thought. So I'm sure Pete will use it as a game to come and look and upset another big home bumper crowd here at the SMH.
We use this term in midweek. Is it a must-win, do you think?
I didn't think Tuesday was a must-win. It was a must-not-lose. Because after Tranmere, that's sometimes the worst thing you can do is, and this is only my view, this isn't talking with the staff or the club, this is my view, that if you get thumped, you don't lose again. You've got to try and get something going. So we did that, albeit at this point we didn't win. But yeah, I don't want to be quoted on a must-win, but I think it's very important we do win. Let's put it that way. And not so much for the points or for the playoff hunt, but just give our supporters something to sing about after probably not disappointing couple of games. Certainly Tranmere, but last Saturday we played. We let everyone down a little bit, so let's make up for it tomorrow.
And Kyle McFadzean, 70 minutes in midweek. Did he come through it okay?
Yeah, I think Gaffer just felt before he come off, it was time. Using his experience to has been out for a while. Grimesy come on and was excellent, and Palms was excellent throughout. So, with Harvey back in the frame now, we've got 4 really good centre halves to choose from tomorrow. But yeah, Fads is fine and available for tomorrow.
And is any other injury concerns? I know you can't say too much, but
no.
Is anyone likely to be back foot between now and the end of the season?
Sparksy's back on the grass doing a bit. He might make the last game or two, maybe. Apart from that, Kane potentially. And then after that, people like Dunk's great to see Tyrone, by the way, at our game the other night. Really pleased for him to be back, walking, looking relatively fit. So I've just thought I'd make a mention on that. It's great that he's back, and I'm sure he'll want to get back to work quite soon.